Thank you for staying with us. It's time now to take a look at stories making headlines on the front page of Nigerian newspapers. And I begin with the Punch newspaper. The major story there says, Edo poll, PDP demands fresh collation as Labour Party, Akpata alleges fraud. And the writers there, INEC must abide by Section 65 of Electoral Act 2022. Damagum poll was a transaction, not election. That's what Labour Party is quoted as saying. Another story here says, litigation claims against 6 banks near 2 trillion naira. Police probe alleged killing of 3 by Lagos teenage driver. Passengers panic as plane windshield breaks in Abuja. And at the top corner there, why federal government must end petrol subsidy now. Dangote is quoted as saying that Federal Executive Council plans fuel tankers back for Dangote refinery to tackle congestion. National Assembly resumes today, demands 2025 budget. And pro-Fubara local government caretaker chairman dump PDP for APP. Those are the stories you find on the front page of the Punch newspaper. To the Nigerian News Direct now, still talking about the Edo poll. PDP, Labour Party, Yaga Africa, others reject election results, demand review. It was not an election but a transaction. Akpata decries vote therapy, vote buying as well. Independent Observer Group raises concern over election integrity. A blatant example of state capture. OB condemns election outcome. And another story here. Reps to fast-track 2025 budget, whistleblower protection bill, others. Lagos launches e-collab system to alleviate truck traffic in Lekki, Ekpe. Blackout in Damaturu, Maiduguri as vandals destroy TCN tower. Some stories on the front page of the Nigerian News Direct. To the Daily News Hub now, and still talking about Edo Guba polls. Igodalo Ganduje disagree on outcome. PDP heads to court. My mandate was brazenly stolen, PDP candidate claims. No, Obaseki's do-or-die comment caused your defeat, APC national chairman replies. Election didn't meet necessary democratic standards. We are going to court. Damagum is quoted as saying. Another story here, still talking Edo Guba. I am vindicated. He couldn't even win his local government. Tribal mocks Obaseki. Says, I hope he learned his lessons. Tanker explodes in Abuja, injures many. That's at the story at the downstream there. And Edo Guba, damage you caused to hunt your children, P2B tells INEC others. Right. Another story here, Edo Guba election failed integrity test. Yaga Africa declares. Some stories on the front page of the Daily News Hub. To the Daily Independent. Edo Guba poll results were manipulated. Yaga Africa. PDP heads to court, says nation's democracy under threat. And we lost to power of money bags buying votes, says Akpata. We will use Edo template in Ondo, Anambra. Ganduje is quoted as saying, P2B describes outcome of Edo poll as state capture. FEC OK's committee to reassess allow dam others across Nigeria establishes disaster relief fund. Nigeria demands permanent security council seats for Africa. And acting CJN wants heads of courts on conflicting rulings, ex parte others. And flood-prone areas, federal government asks Benue, Adamawa, Taraba, others to relocate residents. And at the top corner there, Ondo not Edo will protect our votes, says PDP candidate. Kogi Assembly seeks immediate sack of EFCC Chair Olukoyede. Some stories on the front page of the Daily Independent. Move to the front page of the Daily Times now. PDP rejects Edo Governorship election results, threatens court action, and the riders there asks INEC to review results within stipulated period, declare Ighodalo winner. Obaseki appeals for calm as Akpata alleges falsification of results. Edo Gubapo failed integrity test, says Yaga Africa. Now, talking flooding, the Federal Executive Council sets up technical committee to review all existing dams in Nigeria, mandates Wike to construct judges' quarters in the Federal Capital Territory. We're changing narratives without compromising national security, Interior Minister is quoted as saying. And court dismisses North Central APC's group suit seeking Ganduje's removal as national chairman. And at the top corner there, Tinubu orders establishment of disaster relief fund. Now to the first newspaper, Edo Gubar election fallout. My mandate was brazenly stolen. Edo's will trampled. Ighodalo is quoted as saying. Labour Party's Akpata election went to the highest bidder. Yaga Africa poll failed integrity test. P2B state capture threatens democracy. Ganduje Obaseki's do-or-die remark caused Ighodalo's defeat. PDP rejects results, sues APC. And another story here. Oni to Nigerians, be patient with Tinubu. All right, FEC approves Citizens Brigade to combat declining moral standards in schools. Those are some of the stories you find on the front page of the First newspaper, Ibrahim. Right,
first with me here is Leadership newspaper. PDP, Labour Party rejects Edo election results. Its assault on democracy, Damagum. Its state capture, Obi. Claims by opposition, myopic. That's the APC responding. And poll failed integrity test, Yaga Africa. CDD demands trial of vote buyers. That's about it for the... Okay, we have Kano State government, having the education again. Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf walks the talk. All right, the next one is the Nation newspaper. Federal government approves tax relief to boost businesses, employment. Massive road projects begin nationwide. Disaster relief fund set for takeoff. 2 trillion naira stabilization plan can lift economy. That's Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. And above the masthead, EU, US give succor to Borno flood victims. 5.4 million euros for 6 nations. Makinde halts demolition of houses on Secular Road. Free medical outreach to mark Oyetola's 70th birthday. Barao tsunami. 12 top NNPP members who have joined APC with hundreds of their supporters. You can see on the bottom strip, NERC, 11 discos collected 1.7 trillion naira revenue last year. Next is the Guardian newspaper. Non-profit businesses amid low impact, over 174,100 new NGOs established in 4 years. You see the infographics there. After Edo, APC vows to clinch Ondo, Anambra, Rivers. FEC okays plans to strengthen national values system in schools. UNGA, Nigeria demands Security Council seat. Parties, CSOs seek INEC's review of Edo governorship election results. Nigerians spent 1.4 trillion naira on epileptic power. Discos owed 385 billion naira. Next is Blueprint newspaper. Nigeria at hunger 79 with 200,000 troops in 41 missions will deserve UN Security Council seats. Harps on African standby force, global stability. Edo Guba will retrieve our stolen mandate in court. PDP vows our approach was knowledge-driven. APC replies. FEC hails Okpebolo's victory. Kogi House urges sack of EFCC boss over raid on Governor's Lodge. Federal government subjects allow down others to integrity tests. On the bottom strip, Naira drops 51% despite rising reserves. Efforts at curbing inflation. Above the masthead, flood. EU supports Nigeria, Cameroon, 4 others with 5.4 million euros. Terrorism, Bello Turji's days are numbered. CDS Musa assures. Next is New Telegraph newspaper. Flooding. FEC sets up committee to reassess Allow Dam. Others floats disaster relief funds. Government advises residents of flood-prone areas to leave as River Benue water level rises to 0.9 meters. Edo Guba will test judiciary's preparedness, says PDP. Vote buying, no end in sight to cankerworm. And then monkeys save 6-year-old from sexual assault. Interesting stuff. Next is the Daily Trust newspaper. Samoa agreement. Ombudsman asks Daily Trust to apologize. Says newspaper's story inaccurate. Federal government handling poor. Praises complainant. Respondent for voluntary submission. Bandit leader Kachala Shame killed in gang clash in Kaduna. Federal government to establish National Citizens Value Brigade in schools. Conflict interest, stalling constituency project, EFCC, ICPC. $70 polio variants recorded in 14 northern states. That's according to federal government. Australia's alleged last but not least is the nation's sporting life. Marcel deciding confesses we thought Mikel was first. Juve want Victor Osimhen. Iheanacho to get more game time at Sevilla. Morocco 2025. Libya's Knights drag Super Eagles to Benin. Joshua may not activate rematch clause with the boy. It's up to Saudi Arabia. Bundesliga team of the week. Boniface out. Olise in. Man United's proposed new £2 billion 100,000 seater stadium unveiled. So many stories for us to chew on this morning.
Absolutely, and I particularly like the intervention of the monkey, saving a child from abuse.